Guys, welcome to another video with Joseph Manifesting. Thank you for joining me. Today's video, I'm going to talk about the biggest tips or ideas that I embodied to successfully manifest my wife back twice, and I trust it'll be helpful in helping you achieve the exact same. I'm going to start out with my favorite one, which is that your SP is begging to be with you. They are absolutely obsessed with you. A really fun story that I trust will be very insightful for you as it was for me. The gentleman that shared it with me was speaking around the country in AA. He was a very impactful, great-hearted human being, and he shared this story about this baby elephant. Now in Asia, there are people that will train elephants so then that way when they get bigger, they can end up creating these buildings and help them pull trees from the roots and have 7 people on the elephant, maybe not 7, but do crazy things. And this is what these people do, is train these elephants. So when an elephant is young, the way that you contain the elephant is you tie a rope around his neck and then tie the other end to the pole, right? Just this pole on the ground. At the time the elephant's 50 pounds, 100 pounds. I don't know how big an elephant is, to be honest. I never studied history or whatever, the biology or whatever the topic's called. And it's very tiny though, and you can tie it up to this little pole. Well, for a month or two, you'll notice that the elephant will fight and fight, and he's scheming, and he's trying to figure out, how do I get out of here so I can go back to my home in the forest? Or I'm a manifestation coach, not a geologist. Wherever it is that his home is at. And he fights and he fights and he fights and he fights. After about 2 or 3 months, this elephant stops fighting. This is very profound. He stops fighting. He's defeated. He knows he cannot free himself from this pole. Fast forward, this elephant is 15 or 20 years old. He weighs 7.5 tons. That is 15,000 pounds. It moves vehicles. It breaks down buildings. It pulls trees out of the ground. How do you contain this? The answer? You tie a rope around his neck and you tie the other end to the pole. That's how you contain an elephant. This story is so profound because this is what happens to us in life. When we're viewing circumstances, we're not seeing the circumstances as they are or as we are in essence. We're seeing them from the perspective of the baby elephant who tried when he was very, very, very tiny. The elephant, when he's 15 years old, no longer even imagines himself as being free because he's been contained for so many years. We all do this when we're manifesting or when we're having visions. We are this huge elephant that is capable, that nothing can stop. We're the most powerful force on this earth. And yet, the only thing that stops us, the baby elephant perspective. Back to my next point. You are the pearl of their eye. Allow this to be. Let go of reason as to why this is not the case and simply surrender to it. Who you love loves you. This is a wonderful concept, and you will find, if you can accept this, that it is absolutely true and you will absolutely experience this. Secondly, on the journey of manifesting your specific person, you will have many outside circumstances that provide you with the opportunity to control the meaning that you give the circumstance. Now, what do I mean? You may see a Facebook post, an Instagram story, a friend, or maybe your SP will give you information that may appear to be to the contrary of what it is that you're accepting to be true about them. This is the key moments, and Neville talks about this all the time, is our reactions to life determines our state of consciousness. I must not allow myself to think in relation to the appearances. So what this means is, I used to have this often. Once I would successfully manifest my wife back, there was a bridge of incidences that flowed naturally. And at times, I wouldn't get text messages back quickly, or the text messages would appear short. My belief in mine would be, there's a problem. Let me keep focusing about this. What's happening? Let me think about the situation. It was in those moments I must catch myself, as that does not align with the version of me that is in a loving relationship that believes that my SP loves me deeply and thinks about me often. It was vital that I stopped myself from reacting to the outside appearance or the outside circumstance. I simply do this by acknowledging the fact that this reaction has come up and not allowing myself to think in relation to what the reaction is stating. Now, this may seem challenging at first. I know from experience it was for me, but it does get easier with practice, I assure you. Persistence. You will continue to get better and better. You continue to be more and more ideal. In that moment, release identification, and then simply ask yourself, what would the feeling be like if I had the most amazing person ever, relationship ever, and contemplate it for a little bit. And what you will find is you will start feeling as though you do. And you wash and repeat. I know where you're at. It may seem like this is impossible or like this is a full-time job. I felt the exact same way. Persist. It will become easier. You will succeed as I did. I promise you with everything in me. Trust the process. Third, when you're manifesting SP back, you will feel uncomfortable. The reason behind this is you have set programs or set beliefs or set paradigms. It is telling you information. It's telling you life is like this. It's telling you that you must do this here. You must react. You must behave this way. And you're choosing instead to know that you're already in a loving relationship and to let everything flow. This may be experienced as uncomfortability because you are not listening to the belief systems that you used to listen to, which is actually a wonderful sign. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this all the time. People will say while they're in their meditation, they're feeling uncomfortable, they must be doing something wrong. To the contrary, you're doing everything right. Think of this. If you were feeling the same way, behaving the same way, seeing the world the same way, your personality is the same way, how could you get something different? And so something must change, and that something is you, since you are the cause. So as you're changing, uncomfortability is to be expected, and in fact, it is a wonderful sign that what you're doing is correct. Allow everything to be and return back to your inner world. I want to share a story here also to help you understand why you have these beliefs and why it's important that you love them and accept them and allow yourself to experience what you're experiencing without labeling them as problematic or that they're messing up your manifestation. If you're talking with your SP or not talking with your SP, this principle still applies. If you went your whole entire day and did not receive a text, revise it to that you did receive a text the whole entire time. You did see the things that you love from your SP. Your SP did message you. You did see your SP that day. Revise these things continuously, not just at the end of your day. Anytime that you see anything that you deem unlovely, revise it. See it going the way that you wanted it to go. The separation in and of itself, revise it. You were not separated. You were in a loving relationship. It has always been that way. It will always be this way. It can be challenging if one says, well, I'm here and I need to get here, because now there's a gap, there's a space, there's things that need to happen. But if in one's mind, they see it as they've always been in a loving relationship, they are in a loving relationship now, that gap's gone, that I need to do this is gone, and you can simply occupy the state of being in a loving relationship now. Let the 3D be, as the 3D is simply showing you old information that you've experienced before. So asking yourself, well, how do I operate in the 3D? Well, I'm manifesting, because I'm manifesting this, but I'm seeing this. That's a great question. This is where we must become very conscious of what our senses are suggesting to us. So as I go throughout my day, and I may have experiences that could show me information that is no longer what I would consider serving me or in harmony with the vision, I simply just don't allow myself to think in relation to what my senses are telling me and go on with my day. That's all I have to do, is not think in relation to appearances. Let appearances take care of themselves and then go back to my inner world. So focus primarily on your inner world, about 95%. 5% live in the world. Just make sure that you're controlling your meanings, you're giving everything. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please do like, subscribe, share, comment. I love hearing from you guys. All of my information on this channel is about Law of Assumption, Neville Goddard, revision, inner work, and manifesting SP. I trust today's video was helpful. Much love to you guys.